Hello everyone. It is Thursday, the 12th August, and the time right now is 9:41 a.m. It's 29 degrees, and we're here at Marina Bay, which is one of the iconic spots in Singapore. If you ever visited Singapore, you might be thinking that's looking really empty compared to what you've seen, and that's true. We're not having a lot of tourists at the moment because the borders are pretty much closed to most people. But it is just lovely here today, so I'm glad you could join. There's a look at the Central Business District and the Fullerton Hotel. And that, of course, there on the other side of the bay is the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. The float over there is still set up for the National Day Parade, which I think has been moved to the 29th. They did have something going on there on National Day on the 9th, which was this week's Monday. But I think the one with possibly even some people going in, or I don't know if the parade is just going to go around the city, but they still definitely have something up over there. So today I'm going to walk around the Bay Area for about half an hour. We'll see where that takes us, whether we get to the other side. But we'll be walking towards the Fullerton Bay Hotel on that side of the bay. So first stop, of course, being the statue you can see ahead of you. That's the Merlion, the Singapore symbol. So we'll walk over there and say hi. There's another person streaming here as well. I'm not surprised, it's such a lovely day. It's great views. The sun is only just climbing up, so around noon in a couple of hours it will be really warm here, but now it's nice. And a soft breeze going as well. I'll try to avoid getting the sun directly on the lens. I think we might not get such a good view of the Fullerton Hotel elsewhere, so I'm just going to turn that way for a bit. So I think there used to be a post office in that building, and now there's a bar for the hotel there. Been meaning to go there just to see what it looks like, but now of course there hasn't really been a good time. So there you have it, the iconic view of Singapore. And it is pretty much completely empty around here. So if you've been here as a tourist, that's not a sight. Well, the view is probably very familiar, but I bet there were more people around here. Let's walk over here so we can see his face as well. When I got here I could see some people out on the water as well, maybe kayaking. I think they must have gone the other way now. There we go. I really love this place. It's like one of the views that you get so familiar with when you first come to Singapore if you're a foreigner. But I think it's been a while since I was here. I think I went to one of the restaurants before they closed now for 2 weeks. But that was a couple of months ago, I think, already. One of the things I definitely want to achieve with these walks is not so much to put them on YouTube. I mean, I will be doing that every day, but I started that kind of to be accountable as well on going out and seeing these places, because especially for the last year and the time before that, I think I've forgotten about the things I really love about Singapore, and I want to go and rediscover all of that. So you're giving me a perfect reason to go out every day and visit these places. That's wonderful. Thank you. And if there is any place that you specifically would like to see in Singapore, maybe you've already seen these places quite a few times, or maybe you're Singaporean, would like me to showcase something, then just leave me a comment and I'll try to do some of those walks. On the other side there used to be where they did the light show. And there's the Art and Science Museum, I think. I still need to visit that. I've had friends come over to Singapore and visit it and really liked it. But I still need to go myself. I've had that issue everywhere else as well, like when I lived in London. It took me quite a long time to visit some of the museums, although I really enjoy them. The light show hasn't actually been going on during COVID, which is fair enough because it used to really gather a crowd on that side there in the evenings. But I did hear from someone that they have been testing the sound and the lights. So maybe there are plans to bring it back. Well, it might be that they are bringing it back without the crowd already. I don't often come to this area in the evening nowadays. But I doubt while we've been having the restaurant closures and everything that they would have done that. So I think we're still waiting on that. I wonder if these barriers are here for the restaurants so that they can keep track of where people are going, stop them from coming in from this side. We do have to check in every time we go to a restaurant, and especially now with the limits on number of people and whether they are vaccinated or not. I think probably they closed off this side so no one comes in unnoticed. So right in front of us is the Fullerton Bay Hotel. I'll see if we can walk on the water side of Fullerton Bay Hotel. They used to have a little sort of terrace there. You could go around this, but of course, if they are serving drinks there, it might be closed. I think that looks open for now anyway. We'll have a look. I'll turn around if there's no way to get through. Over there behind the hotel is the Sail, which is one of the better known condos around here. That's the one Fullerton that we just walked by, with the Fullerton Hotel over there. So I think they have closed off this part, which makes sense because you do have seating over there. Have to keep track of who's coming and going. So we'll take a little detour away from the water side. There's some interesting looking art over there. I'm just pointing the camera right now away from the wall, so this is a much nicer view, but I'll show you where we're going now. So through there, if you cross the road, and on the other side you end up on Raffles Place. Some of the people are really good about giving signals. I really appreciate that. So much better than not knowing how it's going to pass you by. since we walked through here, actually have a look at the hotel as well. I think the sun is right behind there, but they've done quite a nice display of flags and things for the National Day, I think. And Fullerton Bay Hotel is actually one of the nicer places to have afternoon tea if you ever want to have afternoon tea in Singapore. I went there to have a vegan afternoon tea with a friend who was visiting must be years ago now, before COVID. So that was quite nice. It's definitely a nice view if you have a special occasion or something. I'm wondering what the best way is to get back to the riverside, but I think all of those places will have terraces that serve food. So we'll have to just go around it. Interesting piece of art in that lobby. So I think if I just go around this corner, then we'll be back on track, back on the water side. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. So now we are just underneath the sail. Over there. That's the view of the bay. One interesting thing about this for me is that the landmarks here, or even this piece of land, hasn't been here for such a long time. It's reclaimed land, so basically it didn't used to be here. And I think around 92 it was finished, and there was a lot of work put into developing this area around the bay. I think it's supposed to be like a 24/7 living and entertainment area with everything put in one. I even read that they had a competition about naming this area around the bay and finding a good name for it, and that cost like 400,000, and they ended up naming it Marina Bay, which, yeah, was the original, I guess. It's probably better to have a good name than to try to figure out something that really wouldn't stick. I'm aware that the sun is kind of in that direction as well. But it is getting to the point where it's sort of everywhere. These are some of the other buildings here around the bay. You can see the views from the sail, especially during light shows and things like that, are really nice. But obviously it's not open for the public as such. There are quite a few places where you can have a nice view of this this area from. I think that ball-shaped building there was supposed to be an Apple store. Maybe they opened. Definitely doesn't seem to have any branding on it. Maybe we'll get to that point and can have a look. Or maybe a bit high up. Let me adjust that. I think Marina Bay Sands is one of the buildings in Singapore that you can see a lot of the time when you're in the center of the city. So it's one of the landmarks, definitely. But I think even that was built in phases, and it only was fully finished in the 2000s. Maybe 2010 even, or 11. I wasn't here around the time. There's a big casino in Marina Bay. And it's owned by a Las Vegas company. And then of course behind there, where we're not going to go today, is Garden by the Bay. They have a really nice sort of big garden area that you can walk around. And then they do have the actual attraction of the super trees and the indoors gardens. They're quite nice, and they have exhibits there around the year that are themed around like Christmas or Chinese New Year and things like that. So I've visited a few times. I think they do make an effort to keep it sort of changing all the time and It's always really pretty. Lots of people taking photographs though, so prepare for that. I don't know if the gardens have been open, or the attractions there have been open for public during COVID though. Everything like that has been pretty closed. At some point I'm sure there has been something, but I haven't actually checked. I'll have to check if they are open from now on, and see if I can visit that as well. I'll definitely do a walk around the gardens at some point and around the super trees. And this is actually where we're coming to the end of today's video here. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to join me next time, and see you soon.